Hey, this is Politics with Laura, and I got a good one for you today. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? I got a good one for you today. I was working on something completely different, dealing with Russia, um, cu- cutting ties with Constantinople. I cannot pronounce that word. The church, the Orthodox Church in Turkey. There's a whole lot to that right there. If you look at my previous videos, you'll see what I'm talking about. But whoa, 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 whoa. This is something. Ukraine and Russia. Dugin, Daria Dugina, I think that's how you pronounce her name, was killed in a car crash. And her father is Putin's right hand man. And it's alleged that that he is backing Putin as far as his philosophical philosophies and things that he's doing, that he's behind it. And it wasn't the car, the car explosion or the car bomb was not meant for her. It was more so meant for him, allegedly. Allegedly. I'm just getting the news. It was first Putin's daughter, but Putin's daughter, Katerina, I don't even get me going on her last name. She died in 2020 to the vaccine shot. She died to that, and I didn't hear about that, but that's sad. But it's something. It is something. So look at this. Okay, Vladimir Putin. We all know who he is. But her. Now that right there is um Dara Dugina, and that's her. Poor thing. Oh my goodness. I mean, the article read that when Dugan heard about it and he's watching it, he just was shocked, like any person would be, just stunned beyond belief. So it goes on. Her, blonde hair, and that's her. And it's sad. It doesn't matter who it is, but when you miss and you get somebody's child, oh man, that right there is the wreckage. Oh my goodness, that's him, Putin's right hand man, his daughter, his daughter. Mm. I just my condolences goes out to the family. That right there is just heartbreaking. But here we're gonna have to go back to the genesis of this. I had all this stuff that I wanted to bring up, all these old videos that I did, but for some reason, StreamYard wouldn't let me bring them up. And when it did, it was just too many issues. I'm just like, we're going to have to go back to, let's go back to the beginning of this. Now, number one, this war is going to get worse because now it's one thing when the underlings' children are getting killed. That's one thing, But when you get to the top tier of people in government, when their children start mistakenly getting killed, it's heartbreaking. So, I mean, this guy right here, he's Putin's right hand man. His daughter got killed in a car bomb. I think it was. Let me see. Time is different, so it would be today or yesterday for the. Okay, look, you got what I mean. But it's something. So now there's going to have to be a response to this because immediately when this came out, Kiev, Ukraine was blamed. And I could understand why, but cooler heads prevail. But it's kind of hard to have a cooler head when your child was blown up. So let's go back. I did a video. I can't even mute it. Oh man. Oh Lord have mercy. One of the bad things about living in a city. Okay, now we have to go back. Now back before. Okay, keep in mind that the Warsaw Pact is still in existence because Putin is still saying the Warsaw Pact Agreement, NATO, U.S. is not supposed to be on my border. Okay. Victoria Nuland was the one who, and go to the Congress because she admitted that Hunter, he's into it up to his eyeballs. He's into this. What's going on in Ukraine is the U.S.'s fault. Their manipulation. I don't like saying it. I don't like my government. I don't even like to think that my government's doing these things, but I have to be honest. And Victoria Nuland admitted that there were secret biological labs in the Ukraine. Now, each one, I'm sorry I couldn't bring up my video on it, was worth like $30 million, and there were several of them. So you had that. They had biochemical. They also had oh my goodness, I shouldn't go off my memory, but they had several different dark labs there. Now, when Putin was saying, "Hey, U.S., you need to be out of this," and the U.S. was like, "Well, Biden's like, I have nothing to do with this. Um, get your damn son, get him. He's over there making all these deals over in Turkey. Turkey took a drone, or they had to modify the drone to have like what 30 liters of some kind of spray or aerosol spray to be able to shoot 300 meters. Why do you need 300 meters for? What's up with that? And this right here, there was no war. Russia did not invade at all. But however, on over here, we're saying Putin bad, Zelensky good, but it's not even about that. We have to go ahead and look beyond that, and we have to most definitely think our way through this because this is getting it's getting real bad here. I mean, it's bad now, but it's going to be on a level of the double V3, W V3. That's all that I'm going to say on it. But it's up to that. It's up to that point now. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. Let me pause it. Shauna. Okay, there's always something going on where I live. But that's what's going on. And now you have this young lady who's killed. The U.S. is written all over it. U.S. NATO. Now, in a previous video that I did, it showed how all the Warsaw Pact countries were signing up with NATO and leaving the Warsaw Pact. And the first one, I believe, was Poland, but Poland was supposed to be the powerhouse of the Warsaw Pact. They jumped ship. They had everything. They're like, see you, don't want to be you. That's exactly what happened. Then in Ukraine. I'm just sort of giving you some background before I get into what I really want to talk about. All of that happened back in 1980. Well, no, not the Soviet Union fell in 91, and all of these countries start falling at the wayside. Not wayside, but going towards NATO being westernized. And the pact that was signed between Ronald Reagan and Nikita Gorbachev, who just died recently, agreed that capitalism would not be on Russia's borders. It was not supposed to be. All these countries were supposed to be neutral and demilitarized. That's how it was supposed to be, but that's not how it worked out. And I think somewhere within Nikita Gorbachev's, Mikhail Gorbachev's, age, he got more open and we are the world. Because as you get older, you start, getting, I guess, I don't want to say liberal, but you start seeing things differently and opening open to Russia. I keep on wanting to call it the Soviet Union. Opening Russia to all these companies and ideas, and then you have the Shenzhen visa. Oh, but I digress. Let me take it back. Now, when Putin found out about, and I can't say if he found out, allegedly found out about what the U.S. was doing, he tells Biden, hey, look, you got to stop this because you're invading our pact, and if not, I'm going to go in and I'm going to make them stop. And that's exactly what happened. Every place where Putin was putting those bombs are where the black sites were. Now, when he's bombing these schools, that's where the black sites were. You got to look at Victoria Nuland. You got to look at Hunter Biden, who should be held accountable for his drug use. And I think everybody who has a drug charge should consider looking at the United States and maybe doing a class action suit, because that guy, I don't know who his drug dealer was. I don't know any of those things, but he committed these crimes and never paid for it. But his father did the crime bill, and his son has not adhered to any of those laws that his father put into place. So there most definitely needs to be looked into, brought up. And if he can get away with running around doing drugs and do the things that he's doing, then everybody else should. Everybody who has a drug charge, everything should be made clean and pay them for the time that they were in jail, because he's not in. But let me stop on that. It's hard. All this noise. Now this is gonna up one. It's gonna up one now, because this guy's daughter is dead, and Ukraine is at fault. Now we have to look at it, and I think we need to be more of. I think cooler heads prevail. Now let's stop and think. Who benefits from this guy being sent to the great beyond. I know Putin doesn't. Putin needs them, but they got his daughter. So he's been watched because he went to, let me see, what is that? I mean, I don't mean to ramble on. Now, let me see, where is it? Let me show you who I'm talking about first. Let me show you her picture again. This is sad. That's a car crash. I mean, the bomb. That's just talking about her. Uh, Daria Dugina. Okay, the daughter of a close ally of Russian's President Vladimir Putin has been killed in a suspected car bomb. Daria, 29, died after an explosion on the road outside of Moscow, Russia. Investigators committee said. It is thought that her father, the Russian philosopher Alexander Dugin, was who is known as Putin's brain, may have been the intended target of the attack. Mr. Dugin is a prominent ultra nationalist um, ideologue who believes to be close to the Russian president. Alexander Dugin and his daughter has been were at the festival near Moscow where the philosopher gave a lecture Saturday evening. The Tradition Festival describes itself as a family event for art lovers, which takes place at the Zakharovo, forgive me, estate, where the Russian poet Alexander Pushkin once stayed. Oh, wow. If it weren't for Alexander Pushkin, the Russian language would be gone. He saved it. So now they say that, and they say an explosive device planted under the car went off during the vehicle caught on fire. Forensic and explosive experts are investigating. A Ukrainian official has dismissed accusations of Ukrainian involvement in the incident. Ukraine, of course, has nothing to do with this because because we are not a criminal state. Okay, all right, all that was not necessary. They're not a criminal state. Now, Mr. Zelensky, I don't know who said this. The reason why you can't get in NATO is because the corruption there is so bad. But you're not a criminal state. Just a thought. That's not cool. Okay, because we are not a criminal state, which is the Russian Federation, and even less of a terrorist state. Mikhailo Podolak, I'm sorry for messing the name, an advisor to President Volodymyr Zelensky. Maria Zakharova, spokeswoman for the Russian foreign minister, said in a Telegram post that if any Ukrainian linked was found, it would amount to state terrorism. Yeah, I mean it's going to get really bad, and Vladimir Putin already lost his daughter, as I stated earlier, in what was it, 2019, to the vaccine when she got her second. Okay, and that was devastating for any family to go through that. But now, as of, it wouldn't surprise me at all. If if Azov or their syndicates had something to do with this, it's just simply a thought going through my head. An opinion doesn't mean it's true. It's just a thought. That's it. Especially going what's going on down there in Argentina. Now, Russia is going all over the world. Russia is in a couple of places in Africa. Is in Mali, also in Eritrea. They're coming back to Eritrea. They were there. They have a naval base in Eritrea. And I don't know if the fighting over there has anything to do with that between Ethiopia and Eritrea, but it is connected. But I'm taking a little side turn so that you can understand how big this thing is. Russia is in Mexico, and they just recently signed a um, what is it called? La Treaty de Amistad, a friendship treaty in Mexico. So Russia and Mexico has a treaty, a friendship treaty. Nicaragua has a friendship treaty with Russia. I'm not sure if El Salvador does. I'm not quite sure, but Russia's reaching out all over, and it's really something. And I believe Russia has shook hands with people in Argentina, and that's the only thing to me that makes sense why Azov had their links, their links all over the world. A young guy from Brazil, 35, or was it 20, 30 years old, that went and tried to kill the vice president of Argentina. But it botched, and they're trying to give him 12 years, and now she's in jail. But I digress. But I don't digress. But all of this is connected. It doesn't seem like it, but it is. It all goes back to Russia and Ukraine and how they're spreading out. And it seems like that the world is their chessboard all over. Now, what I find rather interesting, I did a video on this. I just wish would be able to bring it up. But Mexico told the US NATO that they weren't going over there messing with the Ukraine and what's going on over there. They were out of it. They said that the US NATO was committing atrocities, killing the Ukrainian people. Look it up. That's what he said. The president said, "Nah." And then you had the Congress, the Mexican Congress, that went and made this deal with Russia, and the president's like, "Okay, oh, it's on." This is going to be, this is so huge, and it's not just Zelensky good, Putin bad. Oh, it's so much more, and that's what I was going to work on today when this happened. Oh man, now Putin says that since now his churches are all completed, the Orthodox Church, Constantinople is no longer needed. That may not seem big at all to you. Those of you who know exactly what I'm talking about. It's on. It is on. Between Turkey and Vatican. I know Pope Francis is fighting for his life. I know he is. There's so much going on behind the scenes. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. So much going on. And this is so deep. And now that Putin is telling the church, nope, we don't need you. Mm-mm. It wouldn't surprise me if it were someone else that did this and made it and pointed and made it look like that it was Ukraine to get Russia to spend more time over at Ukraine and then advance the war. Now, you're probably wondering who benefits from this. Ask yourself who benefits. Just stop and think about who benefits from this fighting. I'll give you a second. I'll tell you what I think. I mean, I said it before, but I'll say it again. Does Putin benefit from this war? Does Zelensky benefit from this war? Maybe Poland. I know. Sana, the prime minister of Finland, the party prime minister. You can't make that situation up, but that is a mess right there. A complete. I'm gonna leave that one alone. She's gonna have a heck of a time living that one down. Oh my goodness. Oh, and Sana, um, kick your friend to the curb. Friends like that, you don't need enemies. Just my thought. Sweden, mm, or could it be Lockheed Martin? They were given these companies were given over $2 billion. The U.S. said, "Here, take this money," but nah, it's not enough. The U.S. is going broke, as what they're saying out there is that the U.S. has Perrier water, a food stamp card, and a Gucci belt, but living in the projects. The U.S. is done, whether you like it or not, financially. But how does the U.S. make money? Arms, war, Lockheed Martin. Just a thought. Just a thought. I did a video about it. Just don't believe me. Just check. Just take a look. See who benefits from a war. Who else benefits besides Lockheed Martin? Bankers. Bankers are trying to find ways to stay afloat because these bankers are doing fractorial banking. Oh, look that up. Don't ask me. Look it up. Oh, it is. It is. This whole system is so done. And how do you kick it off? Bring capitalism to Putin's door. And they've been nudging at that for the past 30 years, little by little. First it was Poland, not Poland. Um, yeah, Poland. Then Latvia, Lithuania, Republic of Georgia, the Baltics. And I'm really surprised about how Sweden and Finland stayed neutral, but now Ukraine applied for this, knowing they weren't supposed to do it. And Zelensky, you didn't even bother listening to President Bennett. I've been saying this for the past couple of videos. He said, stay out of it, negotiate with Putin, and stop killing your people. I said this in a couple of different videos, and if you look at my other video, you'll see it. I showed the paper, not the paper, but I showed the article that I saw from, was it Israeli Times or something like that? I was surprised it was an English art. No, not Israeli Times. I think it was Al Jazeera. But someone or someone's has a vested interest in this and keeps on pushing and pushing and pushing. Now, it was Russian side. Watch. Next is going to be Ukrainian side. Somebody big and with his cabinet is one of their children are going to die. Now you have the oligarchs over there in Russia that are dying, left and right. The energy oligarchs, the banking oligarchs, the natural gas all it's getting beyond real. And now Putin told the um, Western Europe, I'm going to turn off the gas. That'll be so easy to invade. Turn off everything. They can't get any gas, oil. They can't even get a bucket of water. Go in there and just my thought. Just my thought on that. Hey Jessica, how you doing? But it's getting really real over there, and you got to look at who benefits from this. If they were to take out what's his name again, Dugin, Alexander Dugin, Putin's right hand man, or they call him the brain, Putin's brain. If they were to kill him, but instead got his daughter. Now Alexander Dugin is going to be more than ultra focused. Oh my goodness, you took his baby. You took his baby. He would rather die a million deaths than have his child die. Man, NATO, you didn't put any restrictions on the U.S. Zero. And I really am starting to understand why President Trump wanted to back out of NATO. I get it. It didn't make any sense to me at first, but then again, I don't have his information. I get it. What, years later, when they start putting breadcrumbs out here and there, I get it a little later. But it's this whole the changing of the guards. They are changing, and now here's the interesting part. Now you have Russia and China doing live war games. Now I'm thankful to Google because now you can use the translator. You put the um, the address of the article you're looking at in whatever country, and it translates it for you. I'm looking at some stuff in Russia. I can't remember the name of the newspaper, but over there, China and Russia are doing live war games to prepare for WW. Okay, I can't say that. WW3. It's real. It's on. It is beyond on. Now, having me said all that, saying all of that, would anybody like to contribute to it? What are your thoughts? You think I'm wrong, right? What do you think? Do you think that the Ukraine had something to do with uh, Dugin's daughter's death, mistakenly getting her instead of him at the fair, and he gave this speech? What do you think? And if you like, you can call in or come up. The Yeah, you're right, Jessica. The world is going mad, and it's going to get much worse. Much worse. The fighting over there, we get the world's grain is over there in the Ukraine. Also, Russia as well. Now, if they are too busy fighting, where's the wheat going to come from? The bread, the noodles. I mean, you could go down the list. Yeah, I think things are going to get it's going to be beyond ugly. It's going to be beyond ugly. Now, this is where it gets to the point to where your friends They won't be your friends because it's all going to be about self. And if you don't start building little communities of tight knit communities to where you all are on the same page, oh, you're going to have somebody come and wreck everything up. And that's going to happen time and time again. You better start getting your little communities together. And if you haven't, and those preppers up there in Montana in the US, Montana and all those states up there to where they're anti government. I remember, man, about 15 years ago, these parents got into a scuffle with law enforcement and they oh my goodness, I can't remember the name. You can't make this stuff up. Got the parents, put them in jail. Now you had a 12, a 9, and a 7-year old, three children, good with guns, and they held off the police in a gun battle. Those sheriffs or whomever they were needed to go get training from those children because they were holding it down. They had enough food to last them for however however long it is. But they've been prepping for a long time because they knew while something was going to happen, you have these folios in DC, these senators and congressmen doing all this dumb stuff and messing with people in other countries because they can't. Oh, they have to go ahead and give all this money here and there, but you can't do anything for the U.S. like fix these roads. Nah, that's too much like doing right. Biden, I regret my vote. Oh my goodness. If I can get my vote back, oh man, I got buyer's remorse. Okay, I'm done. I got buyer's remorse. But because of all this, it's going to get so bad. And Jessica, you are on target with that. So on target. So, here's my number if you want to call in, and you don't have to come up. You can call in and tell me what your thoughts are. You can call in if you like. Mm. And let me ask, do you think the conflict, just on your personal thoughts, do you think the U.S. had something to do with it? Do you think the U.S. is in it up to its neck? Because I know I do. So, to make sure my cell phone is on. Okay, I got sure. Okay. All right, Jessica. Okay. But it's going to get really, really crazy. Yeah. Yeah, and Jessica, you're right. You're just batting 1,000. And and we got to really look at it for what it is. Biden is simply a figurehead. He doesn't run this country. I mean, I was really surprised to see these the U.S. has its own oligarchs. We were always talking about, oh, the Russian oligarchs, the Ukrainian oligarchs. Oh no, you better start looking at these American oligarchs and stop making it look like that is somebody else. Betsy DeVos. Now, didn't understand that one. I didn't understand that one. What is this? Okay, I'm sorry about that. Um, we have our own. The U.S. has its own oligarchs, and so it's not just the Russian oligarchs. It's not just Ukrainian. It's not just the ones in Luxembourg. Ooh, that is where all the power right there. Okay, once you start following the mainstream media, you got that right, and digging. Yep, you got it right. Hey Sharon, how you doing? Yep, I most definitely agree with you. And you know, the U.S. and NATO go hand in hand. They're like Jack and Jill holding hands. and, and even though that Putin, not Putin, I'm sorry, Trump, Trump, he's easy to love but hard to like. He's one of those people to where you just want to walk the other way whenever you see him. Trump. But one of the things he wanted to do was to get the U.S. out of the what do you call it, the NATO agreement, for a couple of different reasons. He said, one, the U.S. is policing the world. Okay, wait a minute, Jessica, you say, oh, Pelosi should have never gone where she was. Yeah, yeah. Pelosi had no business going over there to Taiwan. Not only Pelosi, but Finland. Finland did that stuff too. I'm just like the party prime minister. You're right next to Russia and you're too busy twerking and doing all this wild stuff. But I don't know who's gonna look at you the same. But doing all nah. Taiwan, look, England gave Taiwan back to China. I did a video on that. That right there was back in 1820. And they were fighting until China said, okay, fine, okay, England, I can't fight you. You opened up the opium and yeah, put it all through China, which, hey, they never forgot that. They never forgot that. Believe me, if you think it's over, it ain't over, England. I'm sorry. You can't do dirty stuff like that and think that it's okay. No, 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 no. It's not okay. China doesn't forget it, just like how the U.S. didn't forget John Burke when he was killed over there in China. Oh, let me stop. I'm gonna mess around and get my channel turned down. Let me be quiet. I'm gonna mess around and get my channel struck, struck again, and then just taken down. I'm telling too much truth. You know what they say? The truth will be revolutionary. Yeah, Sharon. Trump was right about NATO. Yeah, he was. Yeah, I know. Giving him credit for something is just like it's kind of hard. He's just so. Oh man, he's so hard to like. Just what comes out of his mouth. He just like, could you say something nicer? But yeah. Oh my goodness. I mean, I just see the wrecking ball now. I mean, whatever was going to happen, it was going to be at a slower pace. Oh, they just moved it up a whole lot. You know something? Would this be interesting? This would be interesting. Okay, this is gonna be a bad joke. Okay, should I say? Okay, there's these guys up in New York that are charging people to park on the street. They're charging them, and I bet you 10 to 1 they did all of this. Okay, that was a dumb joke. I'm sorry, I had too much coffee. I should have left that coffee alone. But Sharon, you're right about Trump. And look, Jessica, When China Xi Jinping called Biden and told Biden to keep Nancy Pelosi from going to Taiwan, he said, "I can't. She could do whatever she wants." That is not true. He could have kept her from leaving. He could have kept her like Trump did. Trump kept Nancy Pelosi and her 70 family members from leaving the country. I can't remember what was the issue, but he kept her and her family from leaving. So Biden, that was not true. I don't know what you're. I have no idea what you gain out of this, or whether if you just don't have enough oomph to say, Nancy, you're not going, and that's all there's to it. I just don't see you getting another election. I just don't see it. And if you do, I will be surprised. Very surprised. And then I'll do a whole video saying how wrong I was. I would have egg on my face on that one. Sharon, would you like to call in? Okay, but those were my thoughts about this going on over there in Russia with the guy Dugan's Dara Dugina getting killed. Instead of her father, it was her. So that it's going to get much worse, so much worse. Oh, okay. All right. I respect that, Sharon. I respect that. But it's going to get much worse. Just from what I see, just from what I'm seeing in the world. Oh, and not only that, the Russian ruble has gone up in value while the US and the euros is going down. Yeah, Jessica. Yeah, I mean, we all know it. We all know it. It's going to happen, and I think, and this is simply my thought. I think it's simply going to happen because the world is broke, and and unfortunately, Western countries make money off of war. It just does. People go to work. You got to make those bullets. You got to make these ships. You got to, and it gets the economy going. The U.S. had a war every 20 years. I mean, the U.S. even went into Grenada. Oh, come on. Yeah, everyone does need to prepare. Things are, yeah, it's going to hit the fan soon. You're right. Things are going to hit the fan soon and fast, and it's going to be hard. Start getting your gardens together, because right now I see the grocery stores. Things are starting to get bare. Oh yeah, just like recently the U.S. government was telling the farmers to dump the milk, kill this, kill that. Oh yeah, this right here is an orchestrated. Mm, I gotta be careful what I say. Ooh, I gotta be very, very careful. Um, it's gonna be very difficult. I'll put it like that. Very, very difficult for many of us. It's gonna be very difficult. Right now in the U.S. Virginia just started their, and I know I'm off the subject, forgive me, but off the subject, but loosely related to what we're talking about. Virginia just started their eviction processes. Now, the California and the West Coast, they already did that. Now, there are 40 million people who are fighting to keep a roof over their head, and they're losing left and right. Now, when I was outside, I was going someplace and I saw this family, and they looked so out of place. You had a father, two daughters, and a mother. The father was in front, the two daughters were in the middle, and a mother was in the back. And um and they were carrying bags. They had clothes. So I'm just like, oh man, they have no place to go. They have no place to go, and they're in a DMV area. Oh, this is the wrong place to be. The very wrong place to be. Oh, let me see. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right, Jessica. It is orchestrated. It is orchestrated, most definitely. I think that they're going to let things get so bad to where everybody starts screaming, please, 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 stop it, stop it, stop it. Help us, help us, help us. And then all of a sudden, everything's going to get better. Now, some people call it, mm, oh man, oh man, oh man, the Hegelian dialect: problem, reaction, solution. Y'all are pulling it out of me. Stop doing it. You're pulling my leg. You're twisting my arm. Oh yeah. What do you think, Jessica? Problem, action, solution. Do you think? Well, you already said it's orchestrated, so you did tell me what you thought. How long do you think it may take for it to really take hold? Because of the internet, the social media platforms, things are coming to light. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. But it's not even the tip of the iceberg. You're saying nothing but the truth. Nothing but the truth. Yeah, what is interesting is um, the internet was for the military. The internet was called the intranet, and they were able to pass information on. They had emails long before we even got them. So whatever we get, they're like years advanced than what we have. I could only imagine what they have now. They probably have little flying bikes. Who knows? I'm just saying. I'm just talking at the side of my neck. Okay. But in order to bring in something new, what are they calling it? The not the industrial revolution, but a technical revolution to where all of this is going to be wiped out, all of it. And if you've been spending all your time working 40 hours a week doing this, doing that, you're going to be wiped out, especially with what is coming. If you don't have any type of training dealing with social media or something to where you can do something, there's going to be a lot of building, and you got to be able to hammer. Forget about standing around philosophizing. I think they're sure it be. It be, therefore, I think. That's done. Just forget about it. That is so done. If it is not tangible, like growing your own food, hammering, digging ditches, no, not digging ditches, but plumbing, all the vocational is going to be greatly needed. Building additional infrastructure. Not only that, working on the net, being able to do cybersecurity, all this other stuff. And of course, somebody's going to want to get their hair done. Yes, that right there is still going to be there. You're going to have somebody want their nails done. You're still going to have that. But so much is going to change. And the sad part about it, I might not be able to get my Snicker bars anymore. Goodness, I'm so silly. I'm so silly. But back to the topic. Yeah, so how many of you think that the Ukraine, that this person or persons, that young lady who was killed, how many of you believe that the Ukraine had something to do with it? Oh, and if you're on Twitter, I'm sorry, I can't see whatever you're saying. See, I promised myself I wouldn't go over an hour. All right, well, I'm getting ready to log off. I do thank you. And Jessica, I thank you for subscribing. Sharon, I thank you for subscribing. I do appreciate you all. And I will be revisiting this, and hopefully I can bring up my other videos, because I had videos to where I want to show you exactly what I was talking about, but StreamYard wouldn't let me do it. Man. On that note, I want to thank you. I'm trying to get to 500 subscribers and then 1,000. And those of you who are coming and commenting, I really appreciate it. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. On that note, I want to thank all of you for stopping by.